I'm actually come to ask you, I, what do you think about the last campfire, guys? To all of you.
I did not
Uh,
watch it,
I
but
watched.
hearing Snick's uh, description of it and just the straight bullet points of what they actually said, it's. I agree. Like Snick put it earlier, these are things that I want to hear. Who knows if they'll actually follow through with them?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just don't believe them.
okay, but I think the major change. Okay, more density, of course. We know they're gonna add more density because it's a topic being speak for a long time.
Man, they still
Yeah.
haven't added
Yeah,
it though. They said it was gonna be in before season 1 started, and it wasn't.
yeah, but they're gonna keep saying and eventually gonna come. And
Or eventually they'll never
Oh, I
add
have
it.
the bug.
There was a summary that I had read that I actually really like, which is one of the following must be true. Either what they said is their actual opinion, but they're powerless and can't do it. Um, what they said is a very recent shift in their opinion, or it's just a corporate script and has nothing to do with actual development. Because I mean,
I don't think it's the first one because how can a game director cannot have power to do that kind of change into the game?
It depends on the company. Like an executive producer might say we need to guarantee these because that's what we provide or promised our investors.
Huh?
But I agree with you. I don't believe it's the first one, although we'll never know. I think because they said that they made a note about agreeing with the community on issues in the game, despite the fact that they just put out that last patch. So I think that they have very recently, over the last couple days, decided to change their stance on the game.
I think they're just liars. I think they
I
just.
mean, both of those can be true.
I think they're going to literally just say whatever will get them public opinion for like enough time for like 2 weeks, and they're just gonna hope that players forget. Like that's really it. Like I literally think that they're just slimy
Yeah, but that
snakes.
sounds like politics.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that their opinion changed and they have no plans on following through with what they said either.
Yeah.
We'll never know. Well, I guess we will know, but in a couple weeks.
Until they actually make a change, whatever they say in those campfire chats is fucking useless.
Yeah, they really shot themselves in the foot with it's time for buffs thing.
Yes.
And they said it again, and it makes me believe it less.
Okay. What about the new set? The new 100s is gonna be the old 70s.
I
How
mean,
about
if they actually
really
make it that,
specific opinion?
if they
I have
make
a
it that
specific
way,
opinion.
then it'll be fine. It'll be better for the game. But if they don't, then like they can say whatever they want. I need changes, not words.
I guess, yeah, like,
I don't give a fuck what they say. I don't want them to talk.
I think the appropriate response is I want them to follow through on that.
Yeah, I don't want them. I don't want them to say words. I want them to have the patch in the game right now.
They are a little bit caught between Skyla and Charybdis when they talk about things coming out in the future because they can't not acknowledge things that people really want because then it sounds like they're unaware or inattentive. But at the same time, when they have to mention things and they just actually don't have the ability to get to it right away, where they start talking about season 2 and 3, it is also bad because it's like, okay, you acknowledge that these things are needing to be fixed, you're just not prioritizing them high enough to get them out before the end of season 1.
When I hear the thing about the new 100 is gonna be the old 70s, I was really mad.
Why?
I was completely upset. Because it makes no sense. Nerf everything and make the game easy.
Oh, yeah, they could just undo the nerfs instead. Yeah.
Because if you are weak, your character's gonna feel weak. More slow, less cooldown, less animations, less attacks, whatever. And you make the game easy, it's just gonna make your game worse. It's like a nerf the movement speed, but also nerf the movement speed of the mobs. Your game just gonna be slow.
Like the way that you would hope they go about doing that adjustment is to give players enough power for the 70, for the 100 to feel like an old 70.
No, that's not what they're gonna do.
No, and I don't expect to do that. I expect to just keep the the damage numbers. Let's say we want you to level 100 with your item power average 800 and all your items. We want you to do 10 million DPS at max. Like you are really good in your build, don't do more than 10 million DPS. Okay, that's fine for me. That's fine. People can do 5 millions and be really tanky, 10 millions be really squishy, whatever. But if you're gonna nerf everything to make the game easier, it makes no sense. And this is like a...
But like, what's like more players should be able to do 100 though. Like, I mean, the biggest issue I think with 100 is the fact that the way defenses work in the game. I think the bigger issue is defenses. So
yeah, I don't care. Yeah, okay. Let's say again. I don't care about the damage output. I don't care if they nerf damage or buff damage too much. I care about the defenses. So if you're gonna nerf defenses and make the hardest difficulty deal less damage,
they should just undo the nerfs they just did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a point. And now I'm thinking of, because if you nerf the damage and nerf defenses, that means you don't actually need to roll all the defenses everywhere. So you can sacrifice 1 or 2 rolls of defenses because they are not that impactful into the game.
Yeah, but right now builds need to have the nerf to defenses undone, and then they need to have the defensive options buffed. We need more options.
Yeah. No, I was thinking
and the mobs need
logic.
to be nerfed.
I was thinking about the logic behind that, but yeah, I agree with you. We need to undone the nerf, and if we undone the nerf and make that change like a new 100 old 70, I think the game should be really fine.
I think it'll fall into a good state if they just did it, but like I don't get why, like, if they actually have that opinion and they're going to actually make those changes, then why did they just do that nerf? Like, that does lean towards the idea of they did just switch their opinion in office, but I just don't believe them. Until they actually make a change, I don't believe them. Like, to me, it's better if they just don't say anything on these streams and they just actually put a patch out.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. About balance, yeah.
I don't need...
About content, okay, yes. Hype people with content.
Yeah, but I don't need your...
changes to the UI interface or... But if you want to balance the game, don't say it, just do it. You're gonna throw stones at your face all the time anyway, so more or less. Depends on what you do.
Like GGG in their announcements or their streams and stuff only has content. The nerfs and shit, they save that for a detailed 6,000 word patch. The streams are
smart.
Yeah.
Well, on the announcement, they like overlay the major topic. Like,
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do like a flash changes because we don't want you to play only around the flags, being the 50% of your damage and survivability. So, but you will find everything in the patch notes.
Yeah.
Like,
everything they say has a follow-up, not just That's a good question. Next question. Like, it's painful. Okay.
I didn't have that high of expectations going into the campfire chat because I knew that it was just a campfire or a fireside chat or whatever. I knew they couldn't do much with it. Like, this is about what I expected in terms of like they were just gonna come on and talk. And as far as just coming on and talking, I feel like they did a okay job of it. Like out of the gate, they came out and said that the patch they just put out was bad, that the not only was the patch bad, but in the future they're gonna not do patches that are that bad anymore. And then they acknowledged a lot of the concerns that the community has. And then the only thing that was kind of where I feel like they could have done more was having a couple more concrete ideas as to how they were going to fix some things, or at least acknowledging that they're going to actually do some fixing. Like especially, there was like one point where they were talking about cooldown, and they were expounding upon how cooldown is a really good stat. People like cooldown, and it often becomes the only stat you care about, and people want to get a lot of cooldown, and cooldown is good. Cooldown is a good stat, but we don't want it to be the only stat, and that's where they ended that topic. And like they needed to have a solution, and they didn't have a solution. They just acknowledged that it's a problem. And as far as acknowledging problems, it felt like they were at least on the same page with like what the problems were for the most part.
Wait a second. There is one thing there that is really important. They don't. It's not like they don't have the solution. They think nerf cooldown is the solution. That
Right.
is worse.
Correct. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. That's a fair point. Is that they have the solution and they just go in the wrong direction. So,
Well, I think it's that they don't have the solution, and what they do have, they think is the solution.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know that I have any more hope for the game getting better, because it's
They're just too slow.
yeah, they're too slow, and also it feels like they aren't fully, like, they're willing to go on the fireside chat and say things that will appease the community, but I don't know if they're actually willing to have the changes made